Hey guys, welcome to Minutes with me, and I'm Bontran Fitness as your host, and this is a very special guest of mine, Melissa Taylor. She's a realtor, she's a busy mom, she's just all over the place. And how we met was I was training her for personal training, and I trained her for a little bit. But the one thing that I really love about her is her level of thinking, and we just have such a deep connection on where we want to go, right? And her being an entrepreneur too is just, we just are on the same wavelength. And same thing like I mentioned to you guys before, is your environment matters so much. And this is not the topic, but your environment and who you surround yourself with matters so much. And I'm so glad that I was able to work with her, but not only that, but also pick her brain. And she's given me so much ideas, and she's been in the real estate business for so long, and it's given me so many ideas for my business, and she's given me so much opportunities for my business. And she's a person to reach out to. I've sent her some people, but if you just want to sit down and talk, like she's the perfect person for it, because she's got the right energy, she's got the right mindset. She's awesome.
Bond.
She's hard to reach, but like once you get into, since she's so busy, and with the market going right now, it's crazy. But if you can just sit down and talk to her, she's your woman to talk to. But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I just want to say, just to add to what you said, it has just meeting you and us being able to share and being able to grow both of our businesses while we've known each other has been amazing. And you're 100% right. I can't agree with you more. Who you surround yourself with will make the difference in your path. It will, 100%.
Mm-hmm. No, for sure. And where was I going with this? Oh yeah, right. The topic of today is the power of giving, right? And I know that during this time, it's hard to think about giving, because we just come from a uncertain time, and we're still going through this pandemic. But the key to all of this is giving, and that's what Melissa has been doing during this since the beginning, is giving her time, giving her like she also has her own podcast too, and pretty much she helps other businesses, right? Promoting them, also donating, running challenges and contests, and giving money, giving time, giving promotion that they need to survive, or even just that extra exposure, right? And so I have a few questions for Melissa, and then we can go into our topic, which is the power of giving. And if you don't give, you won't get back, right? So being a busy mom, being a busy realtor, and everything, how do you find the energy to keep going, but also to give, right? Your time, your income, right? Your everything, your emotional, right? Because you're not just doing your career, but you still got, like, I know you have a line that you're doing, like a suicide hotline or something, right?
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, just tell me what are you doing right now during this time?
Okay. Well, first of all, I think the most important thing I can say is that, and I thought hard about this, knowing you were going to ask me this question, but the answer came very easily. And for me, it's not about finding the time to give. It's quite the opposite. I get my energy, my fuel, my my sense of being by giving. So it's almost the opposite. By giving, it gives me the power and everything else to do what I want to do, somewhat like exercise, right? So
Yeah.
those two things. So it does come naturally. I'm constantly seeking ways to give, in my goodness, there's lots of ways. But you were mentioning with COVID, pre-COVID, yes, on our podcast, and I partner up with a mortgage broker, Rob Townsley, and we were doing information sessions for first-time home buyers and for wealth builders, people who wanted to build wealth through their homes and sort of felt stuck and wanted more for their lives. And so we were doing that. Then COVID hit, and almost immediately, the very first thing we did, because everything, all the communication about real estate sort of stopped at that point, because everyone, including us, were wondering what the heck was happening. So the lines went dead, but immediately Rob and I got together and said, okay, we got to reach out. Who's in the most need right now? And at that time, we felt small businesses needed help. They didn't know what their future was. And so we created the Love 19 Project, which we had citizens, I guess we'll call them, on Facebook, nominate their favorite businesses. We were only looking for 19 in Georgina and 19 in Newmarket, and we ended up with 100 and 120 businesses in each area being nominated.
Wow.
So it blew up. People wanted, and that shows you too, people wanted to, give back. And then we would do draws for $50. We'd purchase a $50 gift card from each of those businesses, and then let everybody put their name in a draw, and we drew it. So that was really empowering. But the most empowering part of that was speaking. We would do videos with the businesses, and we got to hear from their standpoint, what was it that they needed? What was it that they were going through? And that really, we heard from a lot of people that brought a connectedness to the business as people, right? A lot of them were small businesses. So,
Yeah.
So that was a huge thing. Always supporting, I don't know, there's never a shortage of things. And you were saying money, and sometimes it is money like that. But a lot of times it's time, or it's things we have around. We support a charity called Shine Through the Rain. I've done walks, like as a participant through Shine Through the Rain. And you can always do it at that level, right? Just as a participant. We also did during COVID, because they support families who someone in the family has a terminal illness, be it a child or a parent. And so we did a fundraiser online to raise money for them, and we were able to raise a few $1,000s for them as well. My latest thing, and I do have to say, because it almost makes me say, how the heck am I doing all of this at the same time? Mm-hmm. But because I do have a real estate team that I just created during COVID.
Yeah. So, congrats. Like that's huge.
Thanks. Yeah, the Melissa Taylor team. So I have amazing Susan Pierce and Emily Hallschaffer on there with me. So I created that team, and we have an investment company as well. So we currently do flips and try and share that knowledge of investing with other people as well. But I still felt like I need that give. I need to give at a deeper level. And it was also during COVID when I saw on TV that Kids Help Phone was needing, they had a text line for both kids and adults, but it was powered by Kids Help Phone and it was for crisis. It was a text crisis line. So it was quite a long process. You apply, yada, yada, you have to go through training. But I've been doing that now actively for about a month, and it's insane to see and understand the need that we don't hear about when we're going about our daily life. And it's really about being compassionate and listening. We talk a lot. I am right now, but we talk a lot, but it's about listening and just making that connection. And I would tell you, just from that crisis line, the number one issue with kids and adults, like the results vary obviously from suicide attempts to just feeling isolated, but it's the disconnectedness. It's the disconnectedness from people in their lives that is a huge repetitive thing that people are suffering through. So anyone can help with that, maybe not on a crisis line, but just on a day-to-day basis. And I think when we bring everything down, whether you think you're successful or not, how do you define that? you know, and you and I have talked about that a lot. And I know to us, success is empowering other people. It's having those connections with other people. It's making a difference in someone's life. To me, that's like, it's not how do I find time for that? That is what I do first. And then I find time for the rest.
Oh, that's good. And it almost comes back to like entitlement. Like, who are you without your title, right? Because the title doesn't matter, right? You may be successful in whatever you're doing, but who are you really on the inside without what you're doing right now? And it's what you do around your career, right? And everything that really speaks volumes of who you are, right? And you're all about, right?
100%. Yeah.
And we also did a charity work together.
We
recently.
did. Yeah, we both sponsored Make-A-Wish. That was so much fun.
Yeah, so we did Make-A-Wish Canada for kids, because I heard the news, like, you know, some of the kids didn't get their wish this year because of COVID, and a few kids died. Like, and I heard about that. I was like, whoa, I gotta do something now, you know. And it's just crazy to hear that. Like, you know, we may feel like we're suffering, or we're having a bad day, but I've said this in a video and a conference before, but like, your worst day is someone else's dream somewhere else, right? So you can't beat that, you know. You're always going to have ups and downs, but it's how you handle it. And there's always going to be someone who has it worse than you. So just stay strong and you can get through it, right?
Yeah, and I find another good thing to remember is, especially when some people get successful, they forget that along that way they had guidance, they had help, they had, you know, and they start to claim that success as their own. And I know you and I both don't attribute to that. We both have had and encouraged, you know, help and guidance and success along the way. It takes more than just yourself to be present and be who you are. And so to remember that. So yes, there may be someone less fortunate, and you can walk away and say, ha, glad that's not me. Or you can say, you know, that could be me, or that could be someone I love and I care about. And it just feels so darn good to help somebody or say a nice word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, exactly. Or give something, right? Like, sometimes I would be out and about, say downtown, right? I'd give, there was this one time, instead of money, I gave them water, or like, I'll grab their next meal or something, like, you know, just something to show your gratitude, or just anything, right? To give, right? And when you give, right, something good's gonna happen to you, right? But if you keep thinking selfishly, right, and not give, and, you know, then what's the point of life?
And you know, it's not even, for me, it's not even about getting something back. The actual simple act of doing that gives me such a great feeling that is the thing back, that, you know, is just that feeling that you get. It becomes almost addictive. I was talking to my team just this morning, because, you know, Christmas, everybody does Christmas gifts and things. And I said, I really want to highlight Thanksgiving this year, because it's so true to the heart of our team, is being grateful, right? And my license plate even says it. But I said, but so one of the ideas we came up with is for our clients, we're going to do a donation in their name for the food bank where they live. And that's going to be our gift to them, which is a gift that gives, right? I mean, it makes us feel good, but it makes them feel good. So it just becomes addictive, and it can be little ways. It doesn't have to be big ways. But yeah.
You can impact so many lives with little things or big things, right? Whatever you want to do, right?
Yeah.
It just makes me think of why I started my business, right? I want to impact lives to help them eat better, live better, move better, right? All those things, right? Everything added with a better with it, right? And
So true. With you, Bon, and I've said this to you before, part of why we're still connected is, if I went to a trainer, I'd be trained and it'd be over when I stopped paying and that would be it, right? But with you, it was never just about that. It wasn't just about the physical training. It was emotional. You wanted to help me get success to my goals, help support me. And it was like you were an osteopath. you were interested in the whole person, right? You were interested in how you could support and add to that person. And that sets you apart by far. And that's why I continue to promote you and recommend you everywhere I go, because you are very special in what you do.
Thank you. Stop it. But that same thing with you, you continue to give your time, right? You continue to, even though you are stupendously busy, right? With your career, with you being a mom, with you volunteering, right? With you doing all these things, right? You're still able to have energy. And when you focus on the positives, you will have constant energy, right? And I don't mean like physical, energy, but both mental, physical, and spiritual, right? You're able to do more,
100%.
right? With your time, with your emotions, right? And when you constantly care about the little things, right, the big things will come up in your life, and there's always something good when it comes to positive thinking, positive actions, right, lead to positive results, right? That's the power of positivity. But if you don't do anything that's positive, right, and it's negative, then you're going to produce negative results, right, in your life.
I have to tell you, I know both of us are avid readers and listeners to podcasts and audibles, and the one I'm currently reading, I don't even listen to the radio anymore, which is I guess a horrible thing, but I don't have time for it because I'm constantly wanting this positive information in my ear. There's so much to learn in this world, as long as you're learning from the right people. But I have to highly recommend this book. I know I always get excited about my latest book, but this one really is good. It's called Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty. And I know he does have a podcast as well.
Yeah, Jay Shetty, yeah.
Amazing book. It takes all of the things that I've read about in so many other books and really puts it together in a presentable way. But I have so many people reading that book now, but it really is a must read.
Yeah, that reminds me too of another book that I read a while ago, and it's The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari.
Read that one?
Yeah, yep, that one was really good too, and it talks about life and giving and all those aspects and what we preach and stuff to our clients, to our life, to our education, right? So it's cool. Melissa, what about I know we touched base on the value of giving and what it does, but what are 2 to 3 things that people can do? What can they do right now to start their giving adventure?
One of the coolest things I did, and it was for my birthday this last year, and I had the absolute best birthday ever. And I said, do you remember this? And I said, instead of a gift, and because they were my kids, I gave them the money, but you don't have to do that. But I actually gave them, I forget how much, maybe $50. And I said, I want you to go and make a difference in people's lives. And they did a video. Do you remember that?
Yeah, they did a video. Yeah.
They went around, they all did different things. I had no idea what they could have just gone to the food bank and given it for all I cared. I just wanted them to give for my birthday. And so a lot of people did it after I did it, and it was so cool. So my 3 kids, they took their money and they went together, and they literally and this was December, so yeah, no COVID. So they would they bought a whole bunch of Tim Hortons, and they went to like construction workers on the street. They went into the shopping malls and found, either an older lady or the grocery store and gave them gift cards, and they filmed it. And it was the best thing. I've kept it for forever, and they put music to it. So it was really fun, but just something like that, like, when it is a holiday, maybe asking, instead of giving me a gift, how about we give even $10 or $5 and get people to do that and kind of share that experience with you. Because I was in tears. I loved it to death. I never met those people that they gave to, but the kids had an amazing experience giving. And so they got that feeling. I think that's the best thing you can do, is encourage others to give, and it lets them have that feeling as well.
Yeah.
So, and there's so many simple ways to do that. And maybe, when it is Thanksgiving this year, it's a fantastic year to really focus on that holiday, I believe, because we have all been through a lot, but we also have a lot to be grateful for. So instead of a thing or doing something like that, or if you're going to have a meal with your family, maybe it is, everyone puts in $2 around the table and you donate that to the food bank. Or, there's shelters out there that I have delivered like a turkey meal to, that I cooked, and they love that. Like, or maybe it's just a bag of potatoes, it's something like that. It doesn't have to be huge. Don't think big, think little. And it could be your neighbor, who there's someone on your street who, and you just quietly drop a pie at their door. Doesn't have to be big, but the impact is unbelievable on these people.
Mm-hmm. A lot of littles equal a big thing, right?
Yes.
And then later on, like, you can do the big stuff. Like, I know one of my dreams and goals is to go with a group of people, right? Either friends or even just like maybe a business team, but to go to a third world country and build homes, or, just something like that, something big, but start with the little things, right? A lot of littles will equal a lot of bigs.
100%. Yeah, 100%. And it puts you in a mindset, so you don't even have to feel like it when you do it. Don't wait for when you feel right in the moment, because that's not going to come ever. There's never going to be, now is my giving moment. That's not going to happen. No. You have to make it, you have to schedule it on your phone that, I'm busy today, but I'm going to stop and I'm going to pick up a pie and I'm dropping it at 25, whatever street you live on. Like, it has to be like that. But the give part, when you're doing it, is amazing. And then it's going to be, when COVID happened and there was all of a sudden all around in Facebook, they had these, was it wine fairies or something like that? And people were dropping off anonymous gifts at strangers' doors, had wine. And that that blew up, blew up, because, and now, of course, when summer came and the freedom came and everybody got that back, you don't see that anymore, right?
No.
So even just being mindful daily to just do, whether it's a word or it's a letter to someone or it's a pie or it's whatever you want, but just do one thing. I wake up every morning and I literally say in the mirror, go make a difference in someone's life today, right? It doesn't matter how big that is. It might be picking up a coffee, but
do one thing, right?
Yeah.
That's going to make a difference, right, in someone else's life, but also your life, right?
Yeah.
What is, because then everyone can do one thing, right? Make sure it's not nothing, but make sure it's something productive, right? Something that's meaningful, and just get creative with all these things, right? So.
And the feeling it gives you is like after you've exercised with Bond for a freaking hour and he makes you do those jump ups that you can't stand.
Yeah.
But the adrenaline that you feel after, it really is amazing like that. Lots of endorphins.
Yeah. And then I have that little smirk after,
Yeah. Bond would always tell me, nobody cares, Melissa.
Nobody cares. Just do the work and you'll get there. But guys, how do we, Melissa, how do people reach you?
Oh, they can call. I'm at Keller Williams Realty Centers. So we have offices in Keswick, Newmarket, and Aurora. So call and ask for Melissa Taylor. My cell is 905-960-3779. I'm on Facebook, Melissa Taylor, or reach out to Bon. He'll point you in my direction. But don't think you have to. This is the thing that kills me. Don't think you have to reach out to me because you need a house to sell. You don't have to do that. I spend a lot of time with people who it's only a dream in their head, or they don't even have the first idea of what to do. And so that's the kind of environment you're coming into. And at the other end of it, I also invest myself, and I have a group of people that invest and use equity from their home. So whatever end of the spectrum you're on, there's a place for you, and it's a conversation. So don't worry.
Yeah, and that's what I love about you, and that's why I'm going to be working with Melissa in the near future. And but yeah, she's a great person. Lots of knowledge, you know, inside out, right? Not just about real estate, but also about life and the power of giving, right? Like we talked about today, mindset, you know, everything, right? It's just a cycle, right? Everything feels this and that, but guys, the power of giving. I'm just going to conclude. This is Minutes with Me. This is Melissa Taylor. You can reach her. What's your phone number again?
905-960-3779.
That's
and I gotta tell you, it's a blessing that I met you, Bon. Like, I am so grateful for our friendship. Like, honestly.
I am too. Like, that's why I asked you to be on this, because it's, you know, you want to be selective too, right? Of who. And, you know, I've always wanted to, I know we've done a podcast together, but there are certain topics for certain people, and this is one of them, one of the many that I wanted to do with you. So, you know, there's no one else that I'd rather talk to, especially on this topic. Or we're going to be doing multiple of these, right? There's mindset, not just the power of giving, but definitely other ones. So
that's awesome.
But yeah, guys, this is Minutes with Me with Melissa Taylor. I'm Bon Tran Fitness, and you can reach me on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. This video will be posted on all 3 platforms. And yeah, reach out to us if you have any questions or concerns, right? Comment below. Tell me what you think and what you guys are doing to give to other people, especially during this time, because everyone needs that everyone needs that positive uplift. Everyone needs to do one thing, not 2 things, one thing to make a difference. All right. Take care.
Awesome.
Bye.